Hey everybody, this is Doa, and we are back with Game 2 between our pink Zerg. I was going to say purple because it kind of looks a little bit purple, doesn't it? But it's actually the pink-colored Zerg. It is none other than Checkprime from the team Prime.we, spawning up at the upper right part of GSL Crevasse. And his opponent, the winner of our last game from the team FXO, it is FXOinori, whose ID says Obsidian, but is actually FXOinori. Again, remember, this is the guy he played in, I believe it was GSL Open Season number 2. So we've seen him around a little bit here and there, but he does a lot of coaching, I guess, on the Prime team, or not Prime, on the FXO team. So that's, why we don't see him too often. I'm sure we'll see him in GSL again in the future here. So yeah, PvZ on Crevasse. Big open map, lots of room to expand. You've got this kind of protected expansion that's up the ramp here. Very safe. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see these guys take this first. And this pylon here from Inori actually makes me wonder if he's going to do like a Nexus first or something. The reason being that normally once this pylon finishes at about this supply, well, maybe it's a little bit late, so I don't know. He could put a gateway down here. Otherwise, some Protoss do even go Nexus first. If he decides to do that, I would be perfectly fine with it. It's perfectly safe to do that on this map. And just by the same token, I think it'd be fine to see Checkprime do some sort of hatch first on this map as well. Sending out some overlords to do some scouting about the map amid the scary trees. Okay, so there's the drone going out right now to hatch first. And normally it's a little bit risky to go hatch first against Protoss, except on this map, and I'll show you why. On this map, the creep from your main actually extends to the ramp here, so it's impossible for Protoss to wall you in with pylons or something like that. So it's actually safe on this map. Meantime, it looks like Nexus first indeed from Inori. So yeah, both of these guys are going to have plenty of time to macro up. Neither one of them is going to put any pressure on him. Probably going to start a wall off there, I would imagine. Yep, there's the gateway, and I don't know, usually with this you see like a gateway and then like a forge or something somewhere, and there's the pylon, so he's going to do a complete wall off. Yep, you can see what he decides to put out there next time. And what's it going to be? It's not going to be a cybernetics core, it's got to be a forge. Is it a forge? Yes it is. There's a forge going up for FXOinori. So at this point, you can build a cannon or two, keep yourself safe, build a zealot as well. So, but he's got nothing to worry about because Checkprime is doing basically the same version, only a Zergy style. Going for a hatch first. Did get the gas before the pool, so he will be able to get that Zergling speed pretty quickly. You notice he's going to have exactly 100 gas right when the pool finishes. Well, almost right when the pool finishes. There we go. Zergling speed now. No. Click it. There we go. Alright, whoops. A little miscontrol with the drones there. Did decide to take those guys off harvesters, which is pretty normal. A couple drones being transferred here. The big thing here is that he doesn't want to allow the probe to put some pylons and cannons down back here. He wants to be very careful with that. And this probe, whoa, I don't think this probe's going to escape. Nope, getting taken out right away by Checkprime. No more scouting for Inori, and there's a first cannon going down for him as well. So out of this, Inori's got a lot of options. You see a lot of Protoss players going for Stargate right now in PvZ. Last game, Inori actually did not do that, went for Robo instead, and then transitioned into some Templar tech, which is also quite good. And, I like this wall off actually on Crevasse. I don't think I've actually seen this particular one very often with the Pylon, Cybernetics Core, Forge, Gateway, and one Zealot. That actually works out quite nicely. Very cool. These Zerglings are not going to be able to get in and scout, I would have to imagine. Might go to work and take out the rocks there. Oh, look at this, a really fast third from Checkprime as well. He's like, alright, I know you're not going to be aggressive at all. I'm going to take the time, take an extra third really fast. I like that. He's going to need it to keep up with Inori later in the game. Another cannon going down. I don't know if this cannon can quite reach these Zerglings on the rocks, but it doesn't really matter anyway because he's got that walled off to begin with, so should be just fine. Yep. That one cannon's going to keep him quite safe. And one gas, you'll notice that Inori took his second gas right here. This is actually a rich gas geyser. Each trip gives you more gas than it normally would. So kind of keep that in mind, at least on most versions of the map. It looks like it's only going down by 4. So, yeah. And it looks like it will just be more gateways for Inori. So maybe not the type of Protoss to enjoy doing that kind of thing. Yep, actually this one's just giving the same gas. This used to be a rich gas back in the day. Used to get like 8 per trip instead, but it looks like it's only giving 4 this time, so this must be a version of the map that only has the normal gas on it. There's a couple different versions floating around out there. Nice Overlord conga line there. Overlords from everywhere. Yeah. So Checkprime, you know, he was in Code A, got knocked out. Inori's not even in Code A. But, you know, it's cool to see these guys competing in foreign events like LastPlayerStanding.com's open tournaments. And you guys can even compete in it, too. It's an open tournament. It's available for everyone to just sign up and compete in. And if you're lucky, you might get to play against a really well-known, good Zerg player like Checkprime, or a kind of less known but also good Protoss player like FXOinori. But either way, you know, if you want a chance to play against some actual Korean pros, it's a pretty unique experience. These tournaments have been getting quite a bit bigger. The first one had a good turnout, but the second one, man, has gotten a lot of big names in it. I'm trying to think of other people that are in the round of 8 right now. I know DDE, Kawhi Rice have a match. Boom Boom Prime is in there as well. And I know there's more, but I'm trying to remember. Rain Perfect, I know, is in there. He's a name that I'm sure some people know about. And here we have the pretty quick Evo chamber that all the Zergs are getting right now. Adding on some more gas as well as getting that lair. Mutas are okay on this map. Looks like FXOinori might be considering doing some sort of early pressure here as he takes his third. More or less just kind of taking some map control. He wants to, wants to have control of this Zelnaga tower. I'm burping like crazy tonight. I had pizza school after I got done with GSL. Some of the best pizza in Korea, man. Pizza school. And looks like maybe a little bit of flank from Checkprime. Oh, can he actually catch the units of Inori? Getting pretty close there. Does have plenty of sentries, so even if the Zerglings did close, he'd be able to make a nice little force field cocoon for himself. So yeah, a lot of gateways. Looks like he's going straight into Templar. Okay, getting Blink and a pretty quick Templar archetype as well. And whoa, Checkprime's not careful. He might lose some of these Zerglings. He's going to lose a couple of them there. These Zerglings going after the cannon. And is he going to be able to get in and do some scouting? Is he going to be able to get in? Oh, no, not quite. Thought he might be able to sneak past the Zealot, but it didn't quite work out. And these Zerglings taken care of as well. So Inori a little bit behind on supply, but that's fairly normal at this point in the game during this, you know, type of situation, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Food for food. Protoss units are generally a little bit stronger than Zerg units, but of course the strength of Zerg comes in their ability to reproduce much faster than the Protoss can. Or Terran can as well, for that matter. Yeah, it looks like Storm being chrono boosted out as well. Actually, no, I thought it was... Did he cancel that? I could have sworn I saw Storm up there just a second. It was chrono boosted. There's nothing else you can actually research on the Templar archives. I wonder if he just kind of did that by mistake, possibly? Or he might have gotten a glimpse of the roaches, too. Storm isn't quite as good on roaches. Going for hallucination and +1 armor. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll have to see what happens here. The Zergling preventing the Zealot from getting vision for just a little bit of time. And it looks like Inori might be deciding to push out here a little bit. Controlling this sort of middle high ground is actually quite important, as from there you can, of course, keep watch on what your opponent is doing in a big way, and you can kind of take control of a larger chunk of the map, you know? Have sort of a defensible front. So a decent amount of roaches out right now. Let's see, the upgrades for Checkprime. He does have +1 attack at the moment, researching +2 attack. Meanwhile, it looks like ground armor level 1 being researched by Inori. He's getting his robotics facility as well. There it is. Robotics facility. And a Spire going up for a Checkprime, and a Hydralisk Den too. Wow, Checkprime really getting a little bit of everything. And look at this. The Hallucinated Phoenix will see absolutely everything. And yeah, Storm being researched again by Inori after being, I believe, accidentally canceled. And this does get scouted by FXOinori, but I like what Checkprime is doing. You know, if you put hatcheries in a lot of different kind of faraway places, it forces your opponent to kind of choose, and generally you can save at least one of them. I'll have to see how that all pans out. Oh, looks like a big Overlord drop coming across the map for Checkprime. How successful is this going to be, though? Normally this is something that you see against players that go for some really heavy air. I don't know. I think the Stalkers are going to be in pretty good position for this. Here come the Overlords right now, but the Stalkers actually getting kind of caught up here. They can't get through, and some of these units may be dropped off, but yeah, I think FXOinori is going to be able to handle this quite well. Oh, losing a Templar there. Storming on a lot of the Roaches. Roaches taking huge amounts of damage. Nice Blink Micro from FXOinori, and he should be able to eventually clean up those Roaches, but the Roaches look like they're going to survive for quite a while. If I were Checkprime, I'd fly those Overlords out of there in a hurry before he starts losing them. Yeah, he's going to lose a couple of those there. Roaches kind of running back around the middle of the line. They're going to kill a couple probes.